in the process. So the next thing we're going to talk about here is your time frame. Time frame is huge. Time frame is different for everybody. You're here because there's probably a dissatisfaction with where you're at now. Maybe you need something bigger. Maybe you don't want to live in an apartment complex with so many neighbors, or maybe you're relocating. Usually there's just something there that you need to address. So making a plan to have all these kind of checks in place so we can get to the end and it all goes smoothly is huge. So establishing a clear time frame is crucial in the home buying process as it helps set realistic expectations and guides your actions. For instance, okay, you've talked to us, we've told you what your price range is for homes and how much home you can afford. Okay, times 3.5%. Do we have this amount of savings? Yes, great. No, no worries. How long do we need a plan every month to save to get to that point where we have what we need, right? So that's the journey of home ownership. It's not like you're buying a car, right? So it's not like you're walking onto a car lot and you have a couple grand in your pocket and you're going to walk out with a car. No, that's not usually how a home buying process. It's a long process, and the more strategic we are, the more smoother it is, and the more we're likely to get to the goal. So knowing when you want to be in your new home allows for better planning and informed decision making throughout the journey. Okay, so when you do get approved, I think it's important for all of us to know kind of what to expect. So let's say you have your job history, check. You have your savings and you're going to be okay, check. Okay, you know kind of what to expect there. Okay, your credit's okay, check. So what does the process actually look like when you get pre-approved? And we're going to talk about what that means here in a second. Usually it starts with a pre-approval. That can take us up to maybe 24 to 48 hours, depending on who you're working with. It can take a week or so. Then you want to search for homes, and that can take as long as it may take, depending on what you're looking for that fit your criteria. And then you start negotiating offers, right? And an offer can get negotiated within a few days or a week, just depending on the situation. And then that's once your offer gets accepted, that is when you want to go ahead and get your home inspections. That's when we do the appraisals, and that's where we see that everything's going to be okay with the home that you're trying to finance, and that it meets all of the criteria that we need on our end. And that will actually take a week or two. Appraisals can take a week or so, just depending on how long that goes. Okay, so hey Tiffany, saw your question right here. How long is the pre-approval good for? Usually, when we issue you a pre-approval, it's good for 60 to 90 days. Usually after that point, we'll have to do another soft pull credit check just to make sure that nothing has changed on that end. Make sure that the borrower hasn't gone and financed a new couch or a new washer, dryer, or whatever. In the meantime, and that affects obviously the credit. That'll affect the debt to income ratio. That's something that we talk about when we're going through the process. That tells us how much home you can afford. And if you finance during that time, then that affects everything. That changes everything. So usually they're good though for 60 or 90 days. And if nothing has changed in your situation, then we just issue you another one. It's like it can be super fast, and they'll be good for another 60 or 90 days, and we'll just keep doing that until you find the home that you're looking for. Okay. So no hard credit pull. Great question. We do not do a hard pull until you're ready to basically lock your loan, which means that your offer has been accepted, and we're ready to move forward with the transaction. Then we'll lock your loan. And we'll do a hard credit pull, which will give us the full report, and then we'll move on from there. So during the whole pre-approval process, we've done a soft pull. So if you go to our link and you start your application online and you give us the consent and we run the credit, all that is soft pull, which means no credit inquiry on you, and it doesn't affect your credit score. Yeah, so great. It's a soft pull, and we also run you through a no solicitation program where your information gets protected, right, and doesn't get solicited by all these different people. Okay, so home inspection a few weeks, and then closing process can take 30 days or so. We've done some in less, we've done some in more than 30 days, just depending how good we are at getting what we need documentation wise, and then turning it in and then getting processed and all that. So usually it can take somewhere between 15 to 30 days to close, right? That means that you've already made an offer, you've already gotten your inspections, everything's good there, and we have all the documents needed. We've processed them all, and everything's good to go. And closing usually it's really quick. We've done some in rapid time sometimes, but usually the documents are all there. Everything's good. Everything checks out, and we're ready to go. I've actually had a deal where we get to the home inspection point of this process, and the foundation, something's wrong with the foundation, or something's wrong with the roof, or whatever, and they end up pulling their offer, and so then we go back a step, right? And then the search continues for that borrower. Been there, done that. Overall, once you're ready and you're finding the home you like, it'll only take a few weeks after that to get you the keys and get you into your home.